Hi, this is Laura Jean here, and sorry to be a couple minutes late. We have Kristin coming on, and I was seeing if I could wait till she was in the platform to start, but I thought I'd come on to say hello if you're here waiting for us, because there does feel like there's a lot of energy to this topic of parenting, and that's what this is about. This is a conversation series that I found myself wanting to put together in support of parents right now of all sorts with kids of all ages, but perhaps especially parents who feel like their kids are school age. So, school age meaning when we think kids maybe preschool and up. So, in support of parents right now, that's what this series is about. And I have my friend Kristin Shepard coming on in a few minutes. And let me just make sure I'm not missing her. Um, yeah, so I think she should be on any moment. But we're going to have a conversation for about 30 minutes. And we're going to talk about some of the things that come up through Kristin's expertise and experience. She has a really interesting background that I look forward to having her share a bit about with us, and has some really great ways of expressing and explaining what she's witnessed having been in traditional education and having now gone to being a homeschooling mom. And she has a really amazing business that has been very influential, and she teaches and speaks at conferences and does some amazing work with sharing the importance of some of the things in education that we might forget about, like play. So let me just check and see if I'm missing anything. All right. Well, we'll figure she's going to be on here soon. But I'll share a little bit more about where I'm coming from, I suppose. And my name is Laura Jane, if we haven't met. And I've come to be interested in education for a lot of my lifetime, it turned out, from my time in early college through graduate school and into being a parent who decided to do things differently and in a form of homeschooling that is a lot more about letting the children's interests be the drive, a lot more about a partnership with our kids, and did include a lot of freedom for the kids, but also have seen such amazing results with these approaches with kids that, yeah, I've been wanting to share for a while what I've seen possible and really get together with experts and parents around me to share some of what we've seen. But this is about sharing with parents, even if your kids are in traditional school right now, because a lot of us are functioning more in the home based platform, right, with the current situation with the COVID and the pandemic. So, this is to support parents at this time, whatever version of schooling you're doing, because there's a lot of change, right? And a lot of stress and also limitation. And so, it looks like maybe Kristin's having a hard time coming on. Well, and if Kristin can't come on today, then I guess I'll just use this time to talk with you about some of what I want to say, and then we'll go from there. But really, yeah, this is a topic that I've been wanting to share about for a while, but I feel like right now we parents need support more than ever, right? Because we have these new um, formats we are having to work with that have a lot of things that aren't ideal for any of us, right? The teachers included, and maybe most of all. And for sure, just want to say thank you and be in support of all the teachers out there that are in all the various formats who are doing their best within the current situation, right? And a lot of those teachers, parents themselves, and needing to manage the changes of their lives, right? So honoring that and wanting to support that. That's what this is about. Oh, here we go. I think we got Kristin. Oh, we've almost got her. Um, huh. Okay, but I don't see her. Maybe she was on here for a second. I've never had it do this to someone before. Hmm. Hmm. Well, I guess I'll just move forward and maybe Kristen will still be able to get on. And if she doesn't get on today, then I'll have to find another way to have a conversation with her and share it with y'all. So yeah, but in these times when we're also concerned about our kids' mental health, right? Which I think we already were, a lot of us. We were already concerned about young people and the high rates of things like anxiety and depression and even suicide and a concern about that before even the pandemic, right? And so I feel like bringing together that concern for our kids' well-being and mental health and knowing that we too as parents have been through a lot, and so for us too, a lot of us being challenged in those levels, right? And then added with these changes in education, everybody at home more perhaps, or just who knows what the changes meant for your family. And some people also, yeah, looking at if they want to change how they're schooling, if they maybe do want to call themselves more official homeschoolers so they can have more freedom and not have to do it certain ways. I certainly want to share that option too with this, that there are some really easy ways to do that that are perfectly legal and very simple in many parts of the world, at least where I am in California and many parts of the world anyways. So yes, so sharing about how can we help parents, how can we help ourselves, and how can we help our kids at this time? How can we get through this schooling at home thing that a lot of us may be doing in various ways, and also being aware of the choices within that, and some of what we might want to weave in and around that, and some of the ways we parents can approach our kids to support them, especially if we are going to be with them more, if we are going to be even more engaged in their education, and ways we want to just keep looking at how we're parenting them, how we're educating them, and that we really teach so much with how we teach. Not only what we teach, but how we teach. So we want to look at some of the psychology that can go into and some of the psychology that we can create, like it or not, with some of the more traditional ways of parenting and even schooling. And so those are some of the good reasons to look at being open, doing it your own way. And that's the main thing. And the thing I always want to say with parenting, of course, it's such a personal thing. And it's, of course, should always be each family doing it their own unique way. But I find as a parent, it's nice to keep filling my well, getting examples, getting ideas, getting inspiration so that I can do it better. So, yeah, so I'm sorry that maybe it's looking like Kristen isn't able to come on today, but I'm going to find another way to have a conversation with her and share that with you. But I just thought I would share today then more what my intentions are with this series. And yeah, wanting to honor that every family is different and that even in the homeschooling world, that's a real lesson that we get, that there's a million ways to homeschool, whatever, if you call yourself a homeschooler or not. And again, this series is really intended to be for parents who are doing whatever format of schooling. But yes, maybe a little more towards parents with school aged kids, whether that's preschool and up, kids who are home with their parents, maybe, right? And how can we as parents support them to have a smoother time with these changes in these times, right? Which of course does involve how we're caring for ourselves, which is something that I'm always talking about. And our self-care is going to be part of what version of parenting we can show up for, right? So that's part of this though, is just to fill our wells with even listening to conversations that can hopefully be um, enriching, enlightening, and inspiring, and giving us more ways to enter this time with our kids so that it can be more what we do want. And one of the things that I've loved and learned from some of the people I've learned from in how I feel like I want to approach my parenting, which is part of education, right? If we're always part of our kids' education, whether they're homeschooling or not. But I feel like it's really nice to let the priority be not only what we want for our kids with our long range goals for the kids, and really keeping that in mind with what we're worried about right now, right? Like, what are our long range goals for our kids? I love that I get that from Alfie Kohn, who's one of my mentors. And then that to make it about our connection with our kids is really nice to have as the priority in everything we do with them, and all the ways we parent them, and all the ways we help them with their education to. And I think I really got that most specifically from Pam Sarushian, who I really like, that I learned a lot about these alternative ways with education. So, yes, what can we do to support our kids, especially if we're the kind of parents who want to make it about our connection with our kids, and yes, about our long range goals for our kids. And also, yeah, making sure that we're doing what we can to support our kids in their mental health and how they're feeling about their world and their lives and themselves, and yeah, how their family life can support that, right? So, yes, hoping this will be helpful. So stay tuned for more of these conversations, and I'll get Kristin back. If I need to, we'll do just a Zoom conversation and upload it. But I have people scheduled each day this week to have these conversations with different people who are education experts and parents that I thought would be worth to bring in and have conversation to share with you. So hoping this will be helpful to you, and I'm excited, to do it for the children, much less for ourselves, right? For the different experience our kids can have with more of us parents being, and you could call this being more and more and more conscious with how we're parenting, and really considering how and why we're doing things. And then again, remembering that we're going to be in that energy to be able to parent our best if we are taking care of ourselves. And that's a part of what I'm always sharing. So, yes, hope that's helpful. So great to be in this journey with you all, and be well out there. Thanks for being here. Oh.